Dear students, in the previous class we discussed about standard hydrogen electrode potential. So today we are going to discuss about measurement of remaining unknown electrode potentials with the help of standard hydrogen electrode. Before going to explain the topic, we are going to see about the EMF of a galvanic cell. What is the meaning of EMF? The difference in potentials of the two half cells is known as the electromotive force, or simply called as a EMF of the cell or cell potential. We know every galvanic cell is made up of two half cells. One is oxidation of cell, another one is reduction of cell. The potentials of both these half cells, that is oxidation of cell and reduction of cell, always different. On account of this difference in electrode potentials, the electric current always moves from electrode at higher potential to the electrode at lower potential. That means the current is flow from an electrode whose electrode potential value is high to an electrode whose electrode potential value is low. Generally, the current is flow from cathode to anode, like this. The current is flow from cathode to anode. Next, this EMF, that is electromotive force of the cell, we can calculate in three ways. How we can calculate? Generally, the EMF value of the cell is equal to sum of the electrode potentials of oxidation of cell and reduction of cell. However, that EMF value we can calculate in three ways. First way is, when oxidation potential of anode and reduction potential value of cathode if you have, at that time EMF of the cell is equal to sum of the oxidation potential of anode and reduction potential of cathode, like this. That means if you have oxidation potential of anode and reduction potential of cathode, at that time the EMF of cell is equal to sum of the oxidation potential of anode and reduction potential of cathode. If you have reduction potential of both the electrodes, that means if you have reduction potential of anode and reduction potential of cathode, at that time the EMF value of the cell is equal to reduction potential value of cathode minus reduction potential value of anode, or the difference in the reduction potential of cathode and anode, that is equal to EMF value of the cell. If you have oxidation potential of anode and oxidation potential of cathode, at that time we can calculate EMF value of the cell is like this. The difference in between the oxidation potential of anode and cathode is equal to EMF value of the cell, like this. So in these three ways we can express EMF value. Here you may observe, in some cases we write only E cell, in some other cases we can write E naught cell. So here I wrote E naught cell. In some other cases we may write like E cell. So E cell means the EMF value of cell at any cost or at any condition. But E naught cell means EMF value of the cell at standard conditions, that means at 25 degrees centigrade temperature and electrolyte concentration should be 1 molar. Okay, that is the difference in between the E cell and E naught cell. E cell and E naught cell. So it is indicates EMF value of cell at any condition, but it is indicates EMF value of cell at standard conditions. Next, now I am going to discuss about calculate the EMF of calculate the electrode potential of different unknown cells with the help of or with the reference of standard hydrogen electrode. So generally if you take any electrochemical cell, the electrochemical cell is consist of two half cells. One is oxidation half cell, another one is reduction half cell. According to the IUPAC convention, the cell we have to represent it like anode, salt bridge and cathode. So now I want to measure electrode potential value of unknown cell at 298 kelvins, that is called as standard temperature. So according to IUPAC convention, if you want to know the electrode potential value of unknown half cell, that unknown half cell you have to keep as a cathode and hydrogen electrode is keep as a anode. So finally overall cell how can represent? According to IUPAC convention, the anode half cell is we should represent always left hand side, and cathode we have to represent it always right hand side, and both the half cells are separated by a salt bridge like this. At that time, here you already know the electrode potential value of standard hydrogen electrode. What is the electrode potential of standard hydrogen? That is 0. So it is anode na, anode we have to arrange always like this. It is left electrode na, 0. And when the standard hydrogen electrode and another unknown half cell is connected to the together through a external wire, and it is connected to the voltmeter. In that voltmeter, it is giving some reading. We have to observe some reading. That reading is equal to EMF value of the cell. Now we know the anode half cell, that is standard hydrogen electrode potential value is 0, but I don't know about this. So in voltmeter we have to observe some value. That value is equal to E cell. At that time E naught cell value is nothing but, that means EMF value of the cell is equal to electrode potential value of unknown half cell, that is this one. Next, see carefully here. Here I have drawn a diagram. In this diagram I have taken hydrogen electrode as a anode and unknown half cell as a cathode. So here the electrons are flow from anode to cathode and current is flow from cathode to anode. Next, in this reaction, that's mean in this overall cell, what type of reactions are there? So chemically the hydrogen half cell is act as a anode. At anode the hydrogen is loses 2 electron and converted into 2H plus ions, and the metal is gains 2 electrons and converted into metal. Metal ion is gains 2 electrons and converted into metal. It is occur at cathode. And this is occur at anode. If you add both the half reactions, 2 electrons to 2 electrons cancel together. Finally H2 plus M plus 2 gives rise to 2H plus plus M. This is the overall cell reaction. In this overall cell reaction, once you observe, already you know the hydrogen electrode is a anode. Its electrode potential value is 0. So how can I calculate EMF value of the cell? EMF value of the cell is equal to standard reduction potential value of cathode minus standard reduction potential value of anode. So now the overall EMF value of the cell is equal to standard reduction potential value of a metal half cell, that is unknown half cell. So why? Because here EMF value of the cell is equal to difference between the standard reduction potential value of cathode and anode. I know the anode value, that is 0. So now the EMF value of the cell should be equal to standard reduction potential value of unknown cell. Next, now I am going to calculate and I am going to determine standard electrode potential value of copper half cell. In this case, once you observe carefully here I have taken hydrogen electrode as a anode and copper electrode as a cathode. In this cathode, copper rod is dipped in copper sulfate solution and it is act as a cathode, and here hydrogen electrode I have kept as a anode. When these two are internally connected to a salt bridge and externally connected to through a wire, and I have arranged a voltmeter. This is a voltmeter. Here I am observing what current is supplied by this cell. So what happened here once you see? In this case, the overall cell reaction is actually the hydrogen loses 2 electrons and converted into 2 H plus ions like this. It is a anode reaction. Next, at cathode means in the copper, at copper electrode or in the copper sulfate and copper containing half cell. Here Cu plus 2 ions are accept 2 electrons and converted into copper metal. It is a reduction reaction. So it is occur in the cathode or reduction half cell. Finally these two electrons cancel together. Finally the hydrogen and copper plus 2 ions which are present in the aqueous solution is converted into 2H plus Cu. This is the overall cell reaction. Here when both the half cells are connected through an external wire and it is connected to the voltmeter, the voltmeter gives some reading that is equal to EMF value of the cell. That EMF value of that cell is equal to 0.34, and I know already the hydrogen electrode potential value, that is 0. Now what is the standard reduction potential value of or electrode potential value of copper? What is that? Simply we can understand standard electrode potential value of copper or cathode is equal to 0.34. That means that is equal to EMF value of the cell. Like that we have to identify the EMF value of all the cells. Next, so the overall reaction I have written here. In this given reaction, the copper electrode is taken as a cathode. Here the copper plus 2 ions are converted into copper. So here reduction reaction is occurred. That's why it is a standard reduction potential value. That's value is equal to 0.34 volts. 0.34 volts. Next, once you observe carefully, here I am going to identify or I am going to calculate standard electrode potential value of zinc. According to electrochemical series, the zinc displaces hydrogen or zinc zinc reduces H plus ions into hydrogen. That's why here the hydrogen is I am taken as a cathode and zinc electrode I am taken as a anode. So in this reaction, the overall cell reaction when we observe, the overall cell representation when we observe, the zinc is converted into Zn plus 2 ion, so that's why it is anode. So in anode oxidation is occur, the oxidation is like this, zinc is loses 2 electron and converted into Zn plus 2 ion, and another one is cathode. In cathode H plus ions are converted into hydrogen gas, like this 2 H plus ions are accept 2 electrons and converted into H2 hydrogen gas. Here these 2 electrons cancel together. The overall cell reaction is Zn plus 2H plus in aqueous solution gives rise to Zn aqueous solution plus hydrogen gas. This is the overall cell reaction. The cell may represent like this. So once you observe here again, now I want to calculate EMF value of the cell. So here the zinc is I arranged as a anode, that's why here the electrode potential value is I should taken as a oxidation potential value. That means the EMF value of the cell is equal to oxidation potential value of unknown cell. So however, the oxidation potential value, EMF value of the cell first. EMF value of the cell is equal to oxidation potential of anode plus oxidation potential value of cathode. I already explained yesterday, for hydrogen the EMF value is electrode potential value is 0, either it is acts as a anode or cathode. For hydrogen the electrode potential value is 0, whether it is acts as a cathode or anode. So here I am taking the oxidation potential value of anode and oxidation potential value of cathode. The overall EMF value of the cell is equal to 0.76. So I know already oxidation potential value of cathode, that is hydrogen electrode, that is 0. So now the oxidation potential value of anode is equal to 0.76. So we have a relation, but I want to convert that oxidation potential into reduction potential. We have a relation. What is that relation? We can convert any oxidation potential into reduction potential, or reduction potential into oxidation potential. For any particular electrode, the oxidation potential value is same in its magnitude, but sign is different simultaneously. For any electrode, reduction potential value of that particular electrode is same to the oxidation potential value in its magnitude, but sign is different, like this. Oxidation potential value of any electrode is equal to minus standard reduction potential value. Standard reduction potential value of any electrode is equal to minus oxidation potential value. Here I calculated oxidation potential value of zinc. What is the oxidation potential value of zinc? The oxidation potential value of zinc is 0.76. Oxidation potential value means zinc is converted into Zn plus 2, but I want to convert reduction potential value. What is the reduction? Zn plus 2 is converted into Zn. So the reduction potential value is same with magnitude of oxidation potential, but sign is different. So the reduction potential value of zinc electrode is minus 0.76. Now with the help of these two, I want to calculate. That means now I calculated electrode potential value of zinc, that is standard electrode potential value of zinc, as well as standard electrode potential value of copper. With the help of these two, I will construct a Daniell cell. I know the Daniell cell construction. In the Daniell cell, the zinc electrode is act as an anode and copper electrode is act as a cathode. In the zinc electrode, oxidation is occur. In copper electrode, reduction is occur. So the oxidation half cell or anode we have to represent it like this. It is anode and it is oxidation, and it is cathode and it is reduction. So this is a salt bridge. These two half cells are separated by a salt bridge. So next, once you observe here carefully, I know now I want to calculate standard reduction potential, standard EMF value of this cell. According to IUPAC conventions, standard EMF value of any cell is equal to standard reduction potential value of cathode minus standard reduction potential value of anode. Like this, I represent it like this. Now I know the standard reduction potential value of copper, that is 0.34 plus 0.34, and I know the zinc standard reduction potential value, that is minus 0.76. When you substitute both the values here, E naught cell is equal to 0.34 minus 0.76, 0.34 minus 0.76, that is equal to 1.1 volt. That means the EMF value of the Daniell cell is equal to 1.1 volt. 1.1 volt. This is about the calculation of or measurement of electrode potential of unknown electrode accurately with the help of standard hydrogen electrode or with the help of reference electrode. So not only hydrogen electrode is the reference electrode, some other electrodes are also there as a reference electrodes, that is column electrode and silver chloride electrode. Those are also reference electrodes, but according to IUPAC convention, the hydrogen electrode is the best reference electrode. Next, I am going to discuss about electrochemical series. What is the meaning of electrochemical series? What is the meaning of electrochemical series? Actually, according to IUPAC system of referring of the electrode potentials, the standard reduction potential value are simply called as a standard potentials. Any metal standard reduction potential value simply called as a standard potentials according to IUPAC system. Now I am going to define the electrochemical series. When a metals are arranged in the increasing order of reduction potential values are called electrochemical series, or when the metals are arranged in the increasing order of standard reduction potential values are called electrochemical series. That means the metals are arranged in the increasing order of their standard reduction potential values. That arrangement is simply called as a electrochemical series. So I will show that electrochemical series like this. So this is the electrochemical series. Here standard electrode potentials, are there here, and electrodes are there here. Standard electrodes are there, standard electrode potentials are there here. All the electrode potentials are in reduction potential values. Standard reduction potential values they have given. They have arranged in the increasing order of their standard reduction potential values like this. For example, if you take lithium ion is when converted into lithium metal, the standard reduction potential value is 3.045. If cesium ion is converted into cesium in this electrode, the standard reduction potential value is minus 2.95. For rubidium electrode, the standard reduction potential value is minus 2.93. Like that, they have given different types of elements in the increasing order of their standard reduction potential value. For hydrogen, the standard reduction potential value is 0. So with the help of this one, the standard reduction potential value is also give an idea to us to understand whether the given metal is displaces hydrogen from its mineral acid or not. Generally, the metals which are present above the hydrogen in electrochemical series is displace hydrogen from its mineral acids, and the hydrogen does not reduce the metals which are present in the electrochemical series above the hydrogen. So once you observe here carefully, zinc is present above the, in this zinc has missed, I thought. Actually zinc also is there. Here zinc is there. So zinc is present above the hydrogen. The zinc standard electrode reduction potential value is minus 7.62. We have calculated now itself, isn't it? Minus 0.76. Minus 0.76. Now itself we calculated, isn't it? So here during the calculation of electrode potential value of zinc, the zinc I have taken as a anode but not taken as a cathode. Why? Because here the hydrogen is not reduces zinc ions into zinc. Why? Because the zinc is active metal than hydrogen. That's why we won't take like that. But copper I have taken as a cathode. Why? Because copper ions are reduced by the hydrogen. Why? Because it has more electrode potential value, reduction potential value than hydrogen. So with the help of this electrochemical series, we can easily understand whether the given metal is displaces hydrogen from its mineral acid or not. We can easily find out. Not only that one, with the help of electrochemical series, we can understand some other important aspects. Now we can see what are those. So in electrochemical series, metals placed above can displace the metals or metal ions which are placed bottom or lower state. Did you understand what I said? In the electrochemical series, the metal placed above can displace below metal ions or below metals from its aqueous solution. For example, if you take copper sulfate solution, when you add zinc metal to this copper sulfate solution, what happened? The reddish brown precipitate is formed on the zinc metal or bottom of the solution, and finally the blue colored solution will be turns into colorless. How it is happen means, here the zinc metal is displaces Cu plus 2 ions into Cu. Did you understand? So we can understand that important point from the electrochemical series. In electrochemical series, upper elements always undergo oxidation and lower elements undergo reduction. That's mean upper elements always undergo oxidation. So here, for example, when compared with lithium, lithium is always undergo oxidation when compared with cesium. Cesium and lithium both are present together. At that time, cesium is always undergo reduction, but lithium is undergo oxidation. Like this, the upper elements always undergo oxidation, lower elements are always undergo reduction. That's mean the upper elements are displaces lower elements from its aqueous solution. Next one is in electrochemical series, upper elements acts as an anode and lower elements acts as a cathode in construction of electrochemical cell. Whenever you have to take electrochemical cell, if you want to construct, the upper elements always you should take as a anode and lower elements you should take as a cathode. For example, in the case of Daniel cell, zinc I have taken as a anode and copper I have taken as a cathode. In the electrochemical series, zinc is present upper side and copper is present lower side. Even during the measurement of zinc electrode potential with the reference of hydrogen electrode, zinc I have taken as a anode and hydrogen electrode as taken as a cathode. Okay, but when go with copper, during the measurement of electrode potential of copper I have taken as a cathode and hydrogen I have taken as a anode. Next, in the electrochemical series, upper elements are more reactive than lower elements. Next, upper elements are strong reducing agents and lower elements are strong oxidizing agents. Next, generally the oxidizing power of any element directly proportional to reduction potential value. If the reduction potential value is increases, oxidizing power of element is increases. If you take oxidizing power of any element is inversely proportional to oxidation potential. If oxidation potential is increases, the oxidizing power will be decrease. That's why the reduction potential value is high for fluorine. That's why it is act as a powerful oxidizing agent. Simultaneously, reducing power is inversely proportional to reduction potential and directly proportional to oxidation potential. For example, if you take lithium has lowest reduction potential value, that is minus 3.045. So here lithium is a powerful reducing agent. Lithium is a powerful reducing agent. This is about the electrochemical series. With the help of electrochemical series, we can understand different concepts. Which is the strongest oxidizing agent, which is the strongest reducing agent, which element can displace other elements from its aqueous solution, whether the given metal can displace hydrogen from its aqueous solution or not. All these things we can understand very easily with the help of electrochemical series. So, next, I am going to explain relation between EMF value of the cell and free energy. So generally the relationship between the Gibbs energy and EMF value of the cell is equal to delta G is equal to minus NFE, where N is equal to number of electrons involved in the oxidation or reduction, and F is a Faraday and E naught is a EMF value of the cell. So for example, if you take one example, zinc plus Cu plus 2 ion gives rise to Zn plus 2 and Cu. In this reaction, zinc loses 2 electrons, copper gains 2 electrons. Totally overall 2 electrons are involved in this reaction. That's why delta G is equal to minus 2 Fe cell. When the stoichiometric coefficients will be changed in the balanced chemical equation, what happened? The delta G value is also changed. What is that? When 2Zn plus 2Cu plus 2 gives rise to 2Zn plus 2 plus 2 Cu. So in this case, zinc is loses totally 4 electrons and copper is accept totally 4 electrons. That's why overall 4 electrons are involved in this reaction. That's why delta G is equal to minus 4 Fe cell. Next, in this expression, delta G is always extensive property and EMF value of the cell is always intensive property. That means delta G is extensive property and delta E naught cell is, that means EMF value of the cell is intensive property. With the help of EMF value of cell, whether the given redox reaction is spontaneous or not, we can easily understand. When EMF value of the cell is positive, the overall EMF value of the cell is positive, at that time only the reaction is spontaneous, otherwise the reaction is non-spontaneous. How we can find the given reaction is spontaneous or non-spontaneous? Simply we should add the electrode potential value of anode That's mean oxidation potential value of anode and reduction potential value of cathode. So when you add these two, we can get EMF value of overall cell. If that value is positive, the given reaction is, that's mean redox reaction is spontaneous, otherwise it is non-spontaneous. Non-spontaneous.